ready. Hey everybody, Chauncey.
Denise Richards and the lovely
Lulu, also known as hashtag taken. So what is hashtag taken?
Well, it means her mom has taken her. She's not available on the market anymore.
Snap. All right, hashtag taken, no more hashtag Lulu, which reminds me, before we get too far into this video, don't forget hit the thumbs up.
Thumbs up, likes for Lulu.
Likes for Lulu. And subscribe to this channel if you do us a favor. We are banging on the door of 200. We may actually already be here by the time this video posts.
That's right. And
How
then
exciting.
I do a jig. Is that right?
You do a jig.
We hit 200 and I have to do something called a jig.
Let's go, guys. Help us out. Help us get there. I'm excited to do this video today because we have some good things to talk about today.
You know it's true.
It is true. I do know it's true. And here we are, in the spring months. It's beautiful outside. This is a great time of year, isn't it?
My favorite.
If you're in Florida. And if you're way up north, I don't know what your weather's like up there. And to be honest, I don't want to know what it's like.
Don't even care.
Not that I don't care about you, but it's wonderful here. That's all I got to say. Hey, let's talk about something. I saw this the other day come across one of my emails. Case-Shiller. You know who Case-Shiller is?
I do not.
Me either. But it's a Case-Shiller report that came out. It sounds high and lofty, like they know something.
Yeah.
So I thought, I gotta believe this. It's from Case-Shiller. And it's a report that came out the other day. No idea. Anyways, January home prices surged a record 19.1%. That's a lot.
Wow.
So if you owned a home, which, by the way, this is our market update part of the video. So if you own a home, and let's say you bought it for $300,000, January 2021, mid-COVID craziness. Well, not in Florida because we didn't get too crazy in Florida with COVID. We had our heads above sand. And so, here's the deal. 20%, almost 20% increase on average. Now, this is across the entire U.S. There's certain cities, and this is based on the big cities, right? So I'm going to have you guess, by the way, in a few minutes, so don't read my screen up here.
Not looking.
The top out of there were 20 that they focused on, okay, to get this average. What do you think? Can you take a guess on which big cities, two of the top three, by the way, are here in Florida, had the largest increase in home price over the last 12 months? You want to take a guess? Cities now.
Naples.
Ooh, okay. Naples. What's another city?
Perhaps Jacksonville?
Okay, that's a good guess. I like your Jacksonville guess. Naples. I don't know that Naples would be considered part of their city because I think they were thinking larger, hundreds of thousands of people. Okay, but that's a good guess because we did have great home price increases. So the top three in the U.S. over the last 12 months that had this average of 19.1%. Number one was Phoenix. 30% increase in home prices in Phoenix in the last 12 months. Can you believe that?
Oh my gosh.
But Phoenix is very similar, from what I understand, to Florida, this part of Florida. Weather's good most of the year. Not as good as Florida. I know what you're thinking. All right, so Phoenix. Number two was Tampa.
Oh.
Yeah, Tampa. I think 28%. So if you were in Tampa, you had a big increase. Number three, which was kind of surprising to me, Miami.
Really?
Yeah, Miami. They were in the mid-20s. I think 23 or 24%. Yeah.
Miami, like proper, or do you think
the city? I think they're primarily talking about cities in this article, if I remember right. They're talking about the top 20 cities, and so they jump into what those are. I think a city would be considered a place that has probably over 100,000 people within a certain diameter, would be my guess. But I thought that was interesting for a market topic. So prices have increased. So back to my original thing, what I was saying. If you own a home that was worth $300,000 in January of 2021, your home probably, on average, is worth $360,000 just 12 months later. A great investment. Tell me somewhere else where you can get 20%.
I can't think of any place right now.
It's tough. No. It's tough. So I thought that was pretty cool. So anyways, that's the market update that I can think. Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, absolutely. When you think about home prices increasing like that, think about the rental amounts. Rents have gone up, 38% in some areas?
Now, that's an article we need to find as well, too. How much have rent prices increased? Because they definitely have. Yeah. That's a huge one.
You hear on the news a lot about rent control and how Florida doesn't have rent control.
No, Florida does not have rent control. Maybe that's a topic for another day. What is rent control? Because some people may be hearing that thinking, what the heck is rent control?
I've never known, always lived in Florida. I didn't know what rent control is. But
I think California has it, I think.
They need it.
I think we're going to talk about California a little bit later. But there are certain states, New York, I think, has rent control. It basically, just a synopsis, it helps put the government in the area, puts a cap on how much you can increase your rent every year. I think is kind of how it goes, right?
I think where I was going, though, is that if you buy a house and have a 30-year fixed interest rate, you have your own rent control.
You control it.
Correct.
That makes more sense. I went a totally different way than there. So that's for another topic, day 2. But yeah, Brent, you do control it. If you own your own home, your mortgage is going to stay the same. Your interest is staying the same. Your principal is staying the same. Those payments, your home insurance may go up a little bit. May come down a little bit. Who knows? Flood insurance, anything like that. Those may fluctuate. But in regards to your home monthly payments, it's going to be the same every month. Whereas leasing, every year, boom.
You never know.
You never know. All right. So great. I love that. Let's talk about our thankful thoughts today. Do we have some thankful thoughts today?
You start, John. What's your thankful thought?
Let me start, guys, what I'm thankful for. So I am thankful, by the way, right now, real estate's been great over the last couple of years, which of course has helped me. When we talk about this 20% increase in my field of business, I didn't have to do much more to get a 20% raise. It just kind of happened. I could still sell the same amount of homes in 2021 that I did in 2020, but I got a 20% increase in my income, which is nice, right? So with that, I'm very thankful because we have closed on a cabin home up in Murphy, North Carolina. I know. So if you need a vacation place to stay, we are going to be renting that out. Reach out to myself or my wife, Angie. She's managing that for us, and we're going to rent it out, kind of like an Airbnb type thing.
Was that the beautiful home you posted on Facebook?
The beautiful one, yes, not the ugly one. The ugly one we didn't end up getting.
No, it's just gorgeous.
It's a new construction home. It's about 2 hours west of Asheville. Nice, quiet, mountainous area. Beautiful view. We'll give some info below. People can take a look at that if you're looking at it. So I'm very thankful because it's going to give our family an opportunity to get away every once in a while and spend a couple days there. And it's nice to get in the mountains every once in a while.
Sure, and build the nest egg.
Build the nest egg. Yes. That's right. Build that thing up. All right. Letters for Lulu. I wonder if we have one today. Let's check that. I think so. I think we have a letter for Lulu today. Let's see what we got going on. Thanks, by the way, for writing letters for Lulu. If you have a question or comment you would like for Lulu to read or answer on the show, in the description below, go ahead and write that. Hashtag Lulu.
Lending.
And Lulu Lending. Hashtag Lulu Lending. And we will read that for you on the show. Dear Lulu, I want to sell my house in California and buy a house in Florida. My lender says the house in California must sell before I can buy another home. How do I avoid being homeless during the interim? In other words, they want to sell their house, but they don't want to be homeless. What do they do? How does that function? All right, so let's walk through this because this happens a lot. It happens whether you're coming from California or whether you already live down here in Southwest Florida and you're just selling a home and moving into a different home.
Right.
Great question. And I think a lot of times it's people's concern, right? They are like, well, I don't want to be homeless. If I sell my house, which I know I will right now because the market, most homes sell within about a week to 2 weeks. If it's going to sell that quick, I got to have something lined up. Right. So if they don't want to live in a tent or an RV, they need to have a home ready to go. So let's talk about that process, how that'll work.
How does that work?
That's great.
If you sell a house on Thursday, where are you going to sleep Thursday night?
A hotel. You're going to find a hotel. You're going to stay at the Best Western. And you're going to know everything. Now,
it's going to be a Motel 6 because that's all that's going to be available.
Especially for the price of those hotel rooms right now in season. All right, so let's talk about this person coming from California. So first of all, they need to make sure they can get lending in the state of Florida, right? So unless they're using cash from their home in California, then they don't have to worry about that part. But if they need to get lending, of course, they need to talk to the lender first, give them the full picture, give your lender, Denise, the full picture of what you're looking to do. Hey, I got a home in California. It's going to sell. This is what my realtor out here thinks it's going to sell for. I should have this much cash after it closes. And so what can I afford in the Naples market to purchase, or Fort Myers, wherever they're moving to in Florida?
Exactly. And let's just say they need those funds from the sale of their home in California for their down payment on the home here in Florida.
Yeah.
So we do a simultaneous closing.
So that's what we'd have to do. So there's a lot of moving pieces, but there's a lot of options. And then there's another one I want to talk about too, about leasing back. So the first one is this, a simultaneous closing. So what that would look like is you know what your home in California is going to sell like, or whatever state, wherever you're at. And so you have an idea of what's going to happen there. You already know with your lender what you need to do. So you have that piece lined up as well too. The next piece to line up is, can I find a house that I want or need in Florida? Is that inventory going to be there? And that's a little bit of the tricky part.
Yeah,
a little bit of the tricky part. But if you have a broad search area, broad search price, you're flexible in regards to those types of things, whether it's a 3 or 4 bedroom, you're flexible on those things. You just have to get to Florida, and it's okay that the house isn't like every checkbox, right? then your opportunity is going to be there. It's available for you. And Denise and I can help you walk through those steps so that you're comfortable. But you definitely want to narrow it down as much as you can to what type of house you're looking for so that when it comes on the market, boom, you're under contract.
You brought up a good point, though.
I did.
The team feature, right?
Teams.
When you are doing something like this, you'll want to make sure that your real estate agent, your lender, and both title companies or settlement agents are in touch with one another.
They all got to be talking to each other.
And work well together to make it happen.
Most popular thing that I see around here in regards to purchasing and then moving into the next home is what I like to call a lease back. So the lease back is very popular. It gives the seller time to close on their house, take the funds from the close of that house, and stay in their home that they just sold and lease it back from the buyer. So if the buyer doesn't have to move into your house really quick, let's say again you're moving from California, you sell your house on April 15th, and your buyer doesn't have to move in until June 15th, you have a window there where you can lease back that home for that time period and then come to Florida, do all your shopping, get your home under contract in Florida within that 60 or 90-day window, and then you can close. And it's a one-time move too. You don't have to move stuff into storage and hold it somewhere for 3 months or whatever. You can just make one move and you're leasing back the house from the buyer, and you have your funds. You may have enough cash now to purchase a home cash in Florida, or at least enough for that down payment or a nicer escrow amount, whatever it may be.
Can you imagine the amount of stress that's going to take off of that buyer?
A ton.
To not have to worry about that in between time, the lease back is brilliant.
So the lease back is important to negotiate when you're negotiating the contract, not when you're under contract. And what I mean by that is this. So if you're working with a good realtor in California, if you're not, let me know. I got a ton I can connect you with. But if you're working with a good realtor in California, let them know that is what you need to do. You need to lease back the home. And ideally, the buyers there, if it's like Florida, which I think most of the U.S. is, there's a high demand for homes. So when somebody's coming in to buy, they're willing to give. Right? So if a buyer's coming in to purchase your home, a lot of them are willing to negotiate and say, yeah, I'll let you stay in the home for 60 days, 90 days rent free, or I'll charge you this amount and you can stay in the home. Just accept my offer because I know you got 10, right? Does that make sense? So they're willing to let people stay in the house. So there is an easy way to, I don't know how to say it, it's just comfortable to make that move one time.
Yeah, make it much easier.
Any other thoughts on that?
I think we've covered most of it. If you have more questions about that, though, please make sure you put it down below so that we can answer those questions for you maybe on the next letter to Lulu.
I was saying call me, but don't call me. Just post it below and we'll answer them there. Don't call me. All right, so wonderful. Thank you. Great topic. Great question. Thank you for that. Post your questions below for us as well, too. Let's talk today about somebody that we network with.
Yes.
Who should we talk about today?
How about John Fuentes?
John Fuentes. We briefly mentioned him on our last video because he is quite the confident fella.
He is very confident.
And he has no problem disagreeing with you.
Nope.
He will if he thinks he's right.
He will be sure and tell you.
Yep. But it's probably good for his profession. Like, you would want that demeanor and that attitude. You would want that bulldog approach because of what he does. Right? You wouldn't want it if it was your psychiatrist or your therapist, right? You wouldn't want this type of demeanor. John, you would not be a good therapist, just a heads up.
Yeah, no.
But with your industry that you do and that John does for us here in Southwest Florida, perfect. He goes out and takes care of homeowners, and he actually fights for you with things that you need help with. So what is he's a property adjuster? Is that his title?
He's a public adjuster.
Public adjuster.
He goes toe-to-toe with your insurance company.
Toe-to-toe. So if your insurance company doesn't give you a claim, like for instance, let's give them an example. What would happen in a home?
Let's just say that my roof came off in a storm.
Roof came off.
And my insurance company only wanted to give me 25 cents for the repair.
Yeah. John comes in and he says, hey, come on, insurance company. Let's do this. Let's make them right. Let's make them whole, right? You need to give enough funds for the homeowner to fix the roof. That's why they had insurance. That's why they've been paying every month home insurance. So John comes in and fights for you. Almost like an attorney in a sense.
Almost exactly. If you think of the personal injury protection lawyers that are out there that fight for their clients like that, that's what John does in an insurance situation. Talking about car insurance, home insurance.
All of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you need to get in touch with John, we're going to put his information on the screen here if we haven't already, and also in the contact information below. Feel free to reach out to John. He's super approachable. He works the market pretty much everywhere Southwest Florida. I think he even helps people over in Miami, on that coast, all the way over here, Naples, Fort Myers, Punta Gorda, Cape Coral, anywhere around here. Give John a call. If he doesn't work the area, he'll find somebody who does, and he will take care of you as a homeowner in your property claims.
Yeah. He also has a great network of folks that will do the rehab on the home. after the home has been, destroyed or ruined or what have you.
John knows general contractors, roofers. He knows all those guys to come and take care of it as well, too.
Complete the loop for you. Complete it.
Awesome. I think we covered pretty much everything. If we didn't, let us know what we forgot below in the comments. Tell us how wonderful or horrible this was, and share it and like it with your friends and family. We appreciate you guys watching. Have a great week.